Welcome to the Joint FDNY podcast. My name is Probationary Firefighter Randy Lee for this fine Halloween episode.
Absolutely. I'm Captain Skull A. Brown.
Oh, you might be a ghost. I haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome back.
It's been a minute. I had to get a couple things checked out, but now I'm 2 thumbs up, 5
All
stars
good?
to go. Yeah.
Great. Good
Listen,
to
I
have you
guess we're getting close to around Halloween/Character Day.
It's boo time.
Or is it just, get your sweets up? You know what? I'll be your first contributor.
Ooh, I like it. Sweet.
There you go.
Literally.
Listen, make sure your parents take a look at it before you eat it, okay?
I appreciate you. We're going to put it over here for now. I dig it.
So, you know what? Earlier this week, I spoke with 2 impressive individuals, both instructors. One was Captain Doug Mitchell and EMT Instructor Manny
Melendez.
That's right, Melendez. Very, very passionate individuals, and you can see they love what they do. It's a lot of hard work.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, it seems like something. Are you buffering right now?
I'm fine.
There you go. You can hear me better now that you can see me.
I can hear you. I can see you better. This is fantastic. I don't know how probies do this.
That's
Okay.
A lot of hard practices.
I'm back.
You know what? Let's go check out the video.
All right, let's do it.
We have 2 great guests today, 2 instructors for the FDNY. We have a EMT Manny Melendez, welcome, and a Captain Doug Mitchell from Pro School. Welcome, welcome. So Manny, tell me, so what is a typical day as an instructor?
Typical day for us as an instructor is getting ourselves prepared to teach the students when it comes to skills.
Right.
The beginning of their day usually consists of physical training with drill instructors, with the ICs or in lectures, and then when they come to us, it comes down to teaching them all the skills that they're going to be using out in the field once they get out in the field.
Okay, what time does your day normally start?
On paper, it starts at 3, but we're usually there by 2:30 in the afternoon to really start getting ourselves prepared. I work toward 3.
Right, but that's like coaching. There are always these unpaid hours that you will never get credit for, but you have to do moving forward. All right. Well, how about you, Cap? What's going on, Doug? What time does your typical day start down there?
Well, the Fire Academy day is obviously different than the field day. Right?
Correct.
The Fire Academy day, depending upon what group the students are in early or the afternoon, or the early or the late early.
Yep. I remember
instruction
those days.
begins around 6 o'clock in the morning, and the instructors are there prior to that. The instructor day, I think you started it off saying about giving back.
Right.
And all of our instructors are invested in being there as an instructor. They have at least 10 years of seniority in their companies, and they sit down with an interview process to be selected to come and teach Proby School. So they are all in.
You guys do have the best instructors, because what we spoke about earlier about how their commitment to the process is like you have to physically be there. Just I'm sure as you, mind, body, and spirit. You can't just wing it and be like, I'm just gonna phone it home or go through the motions. Because even though you say it starts at 6, I know those instructors there long before the sun at times, and staying a lot later depending what is required of the academy.
And you know what? We have people who care, and they trust the process, and they understand that Proby School is a marathon with several hundreds of sprints kind of tied in between it. And that's for the instructor as well as the candidate, the Proby.
Okay, excellent. So what do you think as far as what your academy experience was versus what you have now? Let's go with you, man. What do you think?
I say from my experience from when I got into the academy to now, it's night and day.
Right.
Big thing that has changed when I was in the academy, going through the process of going on calls and stuff like that was all tabletop. How would you handle this type of situation? Whereas now at the academy, we're more putting our students right in the action. It's controlled action because everything's at the academy.
Right.
But we put them on ambulances. We're driving around with them. We're
Heavy scenarios.
Giving them scenarios, giving them calls, giving them those calls, those unknown calls that we get, and you're going inside a location and figure out what's going on.
Functionally, from the skills that we got, hose line management, portable ladder placement, forcible entry search, those core components have remained true to the job from when we got on, and honestly, probably for our forefathers and their forefathers, right?
Yeah.
The fundamental core values of the fire department in terms of operations from the fire side really hasn't changed all that drastically. Again, technology has evolved, our masks have evolved,
Of course.
our PPE has evolved, but fundamentally, the preparedness and the training that those probies get largely remains the same. The FDNY has started a mentor program for incoming candidates. So they start early in understanding the process.
Right.
The FDNY manuals, the Proby School manuals, are available online for candidates to review and study even before they get into the academy. And as you mentioned, as technology has changed and evolved, that's a perfect example. As you said, not only are they carrying around the books with them, but they're carrying around iPads that show breakdowns of different technical points of the class, such as the single slide, such as rope and knot tying, such as portable ladder evolution. So they're having the ability to not only read it, but then also see those evolutions to make them better prepared when it comes for their testing days.
Excellent. So it's like they have to develop good study habit prior to getting to the academy. That's why we're introducing them early with all the materials and the reading, especially the reading.
Yes.
Especially reading, because I try to explain to individuals that you're learning a new language. All right, so you have a new candidate coming on. Very excited, want to be an EMT, can't wait to study, be a medic, want to go up the ladder. What would you tell them to do? What would be the one thing you could tell them, like, all right, this is what you should focus on?
Oh, what to focus on? I mean, there's a lot for them that they're going to wind up focusing on. But I would definitely say, be there with an open mind, study, study. That's really what it comes down to. And never feel out of place of asking any type of question if they're not sure of. That's what the instructors are there for. We want to help. We want to be able to give those answers to those students.
Bringing that energy, bringing that understanding that you don't understand anything. And I know it's tough sometimes for candidates that, they were like, all right, I don't even know what questions to ask that I don't understand. But, the terminology and obviously having the instructor and making it a very, an environment that they could really like, all right, you feel safe? All right, come on, throw out a question. Sometimes you got to pull it out, anything. All right, what about you, Doug?
I would say embrace the team concept. That, especially while you're in Proby School, and I'm sure it's the same with the EMS Academy, you're broken down into smaller squads who go through evolutions together. And there's going to be some people who pick it up quickly the first time.
Right.
Be that person who helps out the other people on your team. And recognize the instructors are there. They're always there to help you, but you have to be able to help yourself and help others on your team, in your squad. And I think when you get to your firehouse, when you pass the academy and you graduate, you'll really understand that team, how important that team concept is. And it's built when you were in Proby School. I still remember the 25 other guys that were in my Proby squad. I have their phone numbers.
I still have that paper with all their phone numbers.
Exactly.
I know I didn't even have my phone. I had a paper. We were still right.
That's right. Yep.
Not dating myself.
That's right. But again, just recognizing that, trust the process.
Right.
Master the basics. Right? The fundamental basics is what we need to master. And when you get a new probie into your firehouse, that's all you expect from them, is to have a mastery of the basics.
Right.
Everything else, we are going to teach them on the job, because there's so many variables depending upon what part of the city that you work in that you'll be exposed to, whether it's subways, whether it's overhead electrical wires, whether it's underground, so many different variables. Understand and master the basics. Right. And have a firm understanding that everything we do in the New York City Fire Department, we do as a member of a team.
Right.
Even if you're on an ambulance with one other partner, you are the team.
You are
right?
You are the team. 100%. Listen, bring the positive attitude and bring the openness and, like you said, the open mind to learn. Like, you're going to get it from different angles, different approaches, different ways of, let's say, coaching them up. Listen, I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Randy, you spoke with firefighter academic achiever Patrick Mahony.
Yeah,
right?
He's from the Corona Tigers, right?
Ah, from the Tigers. So what tips did he get? Like, how do you become an academic achiever?
And it's interesting. It looks like it varies from person to person with all the interviews we've done. And he gave some really, really good tips. I'm not going to steal his thunder, but just check out the interview. We'll go through it. Firefighter Patrick Mahony, you were the academic achiever in your academy class, correct?
Yeah, graduated just about over a year ago, yep.
Yeah, so let's give all of our candidates who are watching, because that's pretty much all they care about right now, is how to pass the academy, how you became academic achiever. What did you do?
So you can get started before you get called for the academy, so really take advantage of any programs the department offers you. The first one is CPAT Prep, then there's the Fitness Awareness Program, and as you get closer to the academy, there's Proby School Prep, if I remember right. So you're constantly getting emails from recruitment and phone calls. Just answer them all. Go to any event. Ask as many questions as you can. I know we all have busy lives, but whatever you can fit in. And when you get there, just ask questions, and that really helps.
obviously there's a lot of book knowledge you have to have. Do you
Yeah.
remember any of those subjects at this point? It's been a
Yeah.
year, so you might have like gone.
Yeah.
Right.
No, we try to stay sharp on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of things. Basically, the bread and butter are both your engine and truck operations. So some of the things I can remember are the engine company tools and engine company operations, ladder company tools, ladder company operations. Basically, what tools will you be assigned in an engine and how we'll use them?
Right.
And the same thing for a truck. Also on this job, we're very big on building construction. That's a chapter in the Proby manual.
Right.
When you walk up to a building, especially once you get on the job, you can't stop. Even when you're off duty, you size up the building. Is it fireproof or non-fireproof? If there was a fire here, how would we reach it? If there was a victim there, how would we reach them? You want to be good with your ropes and your knots, because those are used a lot. And yeah, the bread and butter are really engine and ladder company operations. You'll, especially if you keep up with the reading in the academy, you'll read the chapter about building exposures. It might be a little bit weird understanding it, but then they'll take you to do the evolution. Maybe in building 12 where there's like a mock neighborhood, and they'll say, if this is the building, give me exposure 2. You look to the left. Give me exposure 4. You look to the right. Then it starts to make sense. So do the reading first before you have the evolution in the upcoming days. You go to the evolutions, the classes, having done the reading, it all kind of clicks, and that's one way to succeed in the academy.
A lot of our candidates have this misconception that to get through the academy, you have to be fast, strong, and that's basically it, right? So why don't you give us a run through on why it's so important to be academically smart as well as physically capable to get through the academy?
Absolutely. So if I remember the percentages right, your overall grade of Proby school is 50% academics, 30% evolutions, and 20% FST, the functional skills test, if that's the acronym. Yeah.
I think it's that,
yeah. So 50% of your academy grade is academics, and the quizzes, the midterm and the final, were a lot trickier than I thought they would be. They're straightforward, but you have to have read. You have to have paid attention to pass. I underestimated how tough the academic aspect would be. I thought if you kind of paid attention and showed up, you would do fine on the quizzes. No, if you don't study, you definitely run the risk of failing quizzes. So the academy is definitely very big on academics. You get 2 large Proby manuals, and each week they're going to give you a reading assignment for the following couple of cycles. You really should read the pages that they say.
And I'm sure all those little tidbits, those nuances of what you're learning can change if you go to a different house, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
It's really important that everybody in the FDNY has that same foundation, because I work in Corona, Queens, where there's a lot of private dwellings, multiple dwellings, and taxpayers and stuff like that. But at any moment, we could be relocated to Midtown Manhattan, where it's high rises, and we're expected to operate the standpipe properly on the 88th floor.
Right.
And later that tour, we could go to a house fire, and there's no such thing as, oh, this is not really my area. We don't really do this. So while, don't get me wrong, firefighters in Manhattan are probably going to be sharper on that. We all have to know all aspects of the job, and engine and truck too. You could be detailed to a truck any tour, and you have to know. Some positions are more difficult than others, and most houses know that. They won't give you the tougher positions, but you should have that foundation.
It's been a little over a year now you've been on the job.
Yes.
Still worth it?
Oh, absolutely.
Still the best job?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Any words of encouragement or any tips you want to give our candidates before we sign off?
Yeah. Getting onto the fire department from the time you take the test to the time you get hired can be a long time. So just stick with it. Don't get discouraged. Stay encouraged. And answer any emails you get from the fire department. Respond to any letters, any phone calls from your mentor, anything like that. Just keep up with it, because it's all worth it when you finally get called.
That was me talking to Patrick Mahony.
That was, you know what? I'm actually going to use a couple of those tips for the next test.
It's not bad. I mean,
Yeah, definitely pass it on to my kids.
It is an interesting thing that everyone thinks that passing the fire academy is strictly physical.
Right, not
You
even
know.
close. Not especially the academy now.
Yeah.
It's very rigorous, more creative, and a lot of tools to learn. And you really have no excuse, especially with the joint FDNY, all the information that they have on there, plus the incredible instructors.
Right. I mean, since we're on that topic, I have returned. We spoke with Brandon. Now, you've known him for much longer than I have. Apparently, I
Yes.
said his name wrong.
Yes, you said Mahon, and I was losing my mind laughing. I was like, I can't wait to see Brandon Mahon.
So, yeah, Brandon told me, well, he didn't say anything to me. I've
No,
been saying Mahone
no.
for years.
No, he's very professional, very, very smart dude. So he'll stay in character. He'll
Yeah.
probably tap you later and like, yeah,
But
Mahon.
yeah, it's a good episode to for the new candidates to understand about what they can do from the EMS perspective of getting on this job and what they can look for, what support they have from the fire department for them. So it's a good episode. If you haven't checked it out, we're gonna check it out right now.
All right, let's take a look.
All right.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Let that be your bridge from what you're dreaming until your success story. Make sure that whatever you're starting to do for this job, you're putting your all in, your best effort, because there are going to be a lot of folks that are filing this time around for it, right? It's a great job, and I think you know it. I've known it. A lot of folks know it is a great job. While it has its ups and downs, when you start at the academy, it can be a little rough.
Yeah.
You know, it's a culture shock for a lot of folks. It's a military-driven environment, military-like driven environment. Standing at attention, making sure you're making way for those officers and other staff members, things like that. It takes time. So be patient with yourself in making that change that you're going to need to make. One of the big things is when we get folks that don't complete the academy.
Yep.
And it's important that they understand the amount of change that's going to be necessary to get through the academy. Most folks, it's 8 to 9 weeks before they fully adapt to the new lifestyle that they have to undertake. And we're talking everything from the way you eat to when you sleep, because you have to create that study time.
Sure.
And if you don't create that study time, you're going to be off. So from me to you, work hard. Don't let anything or anyone stand in your way from this career. It can be a great career if you make it that. You're going to have to give it more than you think. A lot of folks believe they can just come in and I'm going to be fine. I made it through my physical, I made it through my medical, I made it through my background, and I'm good. No, and then they meet that wall at the academy. So my suggestion is take advantage of all the programming that we have. It's all free.
Right.
And make sure that you are ready to really work and give it your best.
So there you go. Brandon Mahon.
That was Mahon. So you're gonna keep getting him. He's gonna see
he
you in
said
the
I can
hallway.
say it.
All right.
I
good
know
luck.
it's wrong now, but I don't know what to do. He said I can say
It's
it now. I can't
not
say
completely
it.
wrong. It's all about the spelling and hyphens. That's all
true.
it is.
That's true.
Listen, that was you know what? With his passion and all the other instructors that we went through, you have to bring more than just a want to this job. You got to bring a lot of passion to it.
Yeah.
Because every day you could be changing someone's life
Right.
by
Same thing
helping.
with Patrick Mahony, who went into the academy with that passion to become the academic achiever.
Yeah, like there's a lot of sacrifices to get there.
Yeah,
Which
there
is a tidbit and a tip of a hat and a message to everyone who's a candidate or want to be a candidate. You got to really be completely supportive and be all in with everything.
Right. You can't take it for granted at all.
No, not at all. You know what? This is why we do this, to showcase these impressive individuals.
I think so.
Well, listen, thank y'all for joining another episode of Join FDNY. We'll see you soon.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.